So, is the new champion paywalled?
Of course she is. It's Plarium. Alright, well, last night when I made my video talking about the new Fusion champion, I was really hoping that she wasn't going to come out being paywalled whatsoever, but with the recent news release, the little thing they put out last night, I actually woke up this morning, saw this, was going to make a video this morning, but I was like, nope, I've been asleep for 2 hours. I think I'll just make this later on. But this champion is clearly paywalled. Now, it's not awful. You can still earn some fragments. But to be honest, she is paywalled. We're going to talk about some of the positive sides of it, though. And I don't think it's going to be as bad as what some people may think it's going to be, or what it kind of looks like it's going to be. Because at face value, this isn't good. I mean, when you scroll through here and you see, okay, 30 fragments and 45 fragments. This is the first thing I saw. I said, okay, let's see what those two events are. Summon Rush, paywall, shards. I mean, now it's not bad because right now the Summon Rush is happening and there's a 2x on Sacred Shards. So if you got Sacred Shards saved up, this is literally the perfect time to open them. But then when you go down to the Champion Chase tournament, 45 fragments, it's like, oh my goodness, all the big chunks of fragments are from the summoning events, which is where they're making their money, which is understandable. I mean, I don't care about pushing in tournaments and having to like possibly to use your resources, but when it's shards, which are a thing that people, I don't know, it's just, I feel like it's more difficult to push in the summoning events. So she's definitely is a paywalled Fusion champion. And then the added fact that these are only available through those events versus being able to use your champions that you've saved up from the past, that makes her even more of a paywall champion. And she's actually, even for whales, I mean, they have to spend the money for her because whereas in the past, the whales could just use their Fusion champions they've saved up, now they have to actually compete in the tournaments. And I'll go ahead and give you my honest opinion. I'm not going to be competing in the Ice Golem tournament. I don't believe, because there's nothing I really need in Ice Golems. It's only 5 fragments. I'll probably try competing in most all of these other tournaments, which still won't give me the 100 fragments needed. But we're going to get into something about that. But I am going to try to compete because I typically always compete in the tournaments, even when I don't need the champions who are offered from the previous style of fusions. But what I was saying about it won't give me 100 fragments, and that's not actually a big deal, is because Plarium has released a few messages saying that there will be ways in the future to earn Kreela fragments from other things besides the events and tournaments. So don't worry if you're going to get to like 90, or if you get to like 85 fragments that you're not going to be able to fuse her, because supposedly you're going to be able to get some fragments down the road. Now, how are you going to be able to get these fragments? We have absolutely no clue, no even reference to go off of, and whether this is going to come in the next few weeks, the next few months, who knows that either. I mean, it could be way down the road or it could be next week. We have absolutely no clue what it's going to be, but don't let competing in the turn, don't let not getting 100 fragments deter you from competing in these tournaments, because there's still decent rewards. I mean, the rewards you can possibly get, or the rewards you can get from at least trying in these tournaments, are better than the rewards you would get for doing the same event, but there's just be no tournament going on. So what I'm saying is, if you want to open up your Sacred Shards, now is the time to do it. It's a perfect time. I mean, there's a 2x event. You have extra rewards you're going to get. I mean, when else would you open up? One second, I got a phone call. I got to take this. All right, so what I was saying is that there's no reason to not do the stuff in a sense, because you were going to be doing the same stuff you were doing already. So like, I mean, I know there's the champion training event just ended, or is about to be ending, but when this stuff comes up, like now is the time to train your champions. Or if you go look in this tournament right over here, the Fire Knight tournament's going right now. Like, now is the time to do Fire Knight, because before you would get gear, that's it, but now you actually have the chance of getting an epic skill tome and the chance of placing in first in your bracket to get good Relentless gear. So I mean, it's a win-win situation, even if you're not going to be Fusion Kreela. Now, could these be better rewards? 100%. Everybody would agree that these rewards could be better. I mean, 100,000 silver is just a drop in the bucket. Literally, it's a level 1 to 12 upgrade. I mean, it's nothing at all. But this epic tome, especially if you're a low spender, this is nice. These Relentless pieces are nice. So I will be competing in these tournaments, the ones that I would anyway. So like, if I would like to get the gear from Fire Knight, even without these fragments, then I'm going to be doing Fire Knight. Now with Ice Golem, I don't really care about Ice Golem's gear. I have no reason to run the Ice Golem dungeon, So I won't be competing in that tournament unless the first place prize is very, very easy to get. So like my first place tournament person is like ran a few ice golems, then I would do it. But other than that, I'm not gonna do it. So when it comes to the events and the tournaments, don't worry if you're not gonna get the full fragments. Don't let it deter you, because there will be a way to unlock them down the road, and you'll get some extra rewards doing it anyways. But let's jump in here and look at Krila to see what you're missing out on if you're one of the many people who won't be able to complete her because of the champion chase and the summoning rush. Now, her A1 ability attacks one enemy, places a shield buff equal to 10% of this champion's max HP on the ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns. Now, this is a little bit weird ability. I do like that it's based off of this champion's max HP. However, I wish this was based off of HP instead of being based off of attack. That would make her scale a little bit better, I feel like, but it could unbalance her and make her a little more overpowered. So hopefully Plarium has the reasonings to do that, but I would like that a bit to have been HP. I think she would have fit better almost as a support type. Well, she is a support type champion, but a support type champion with HP based abilities, at least here. Besides that, going on number 2, attacks one enemy, places a stun debuff for 1 turn, has an 80% chance of teaming up with 3 random allies to attack a random enemy. Allies joining the attack will use their default skills. So this is just another team attack champion. However, most team attack champions just attack with other allies. They don't have a set chance to attack with other allies, meaning that if you want to put her in your arena team to use as an ally attack champion, then you have to fully book her out. Now, the benefit is that the stun isn't a 70%, 20%, or anything like that. It just goes off the accuracy. So when you're booking her out, it only increases the chance of this once she's fully booked, and she basically has to be fully booked if you want her to use her as an ally attack champion. Then she'll place a stun and everyone else will attack. So this could definitely be a good ability. I do like the uniqueness kind of that ability. It's on a 3-turn cooldown when it's fully booked, so I do like that. But she's definitely going to require some books. And it looks like, so we have right here, we have 5 books plus another 5 books. It's already 10 books. So if you're worried about spending money on the summoning event and the summoning rush, you're probably not going to have enough books to even book her out anyways. I know I'm not in a spot to have enough books where I would want to invest those books into her. She's more of a later game champion, I feel like, later game arena. But moving on to her ability 3, places a 50% increased attack buff and a 30% increased crit rate buff on all allies for 3 turns, then attacks all enemies. Now, this ability could be really cool if it does a lot of damage. If it doesn't do a lot of damage, then it still works out as a really cool ability to have a buff for all your allies. I mean, especially if you're able to get this working, because you're going to bring her into a team mostly of attack-based champions, I'm sure, especially if you're using her for the ally attack. Now, ideally, the AI prioritizes this, but who knows with Plarium's system? Maybe it prioritizes her A3 instead, but this could end up doing quite a bit of damage. We don't know. We don't have enough information on her yet. Not enough people have her to max her out. Apparently, some people do have her, and this is what they think about her. I guess they've opened her up from shards, so on and so forth, but they're not a huge fan, apparently. I mean, 3.6 rating, this is where she needs to shine. So maybe that changes over the course of the next several days or whatever, as she's being opened up, potentially. But overall, this ability, get it booked down. Her ability set looks pretty good. At face value, she looks like a good champion. Is she going to be the next god tier champion? In my opinion, probably not, unless she's like Rotos, who looks like they have a little bit underwhelming skill set, but then when put into action, they just turn out to just destroy everything. So unless she's somebody like that, I don't think she's going to have like a game-breaking ability set that you're going to desperately need. With that said, still try for the tournaments you can. Still try for like the dragon. I mean, you're going to run dragons anyways. You're going to run Fire Knight anyways. Do the ones you're going to run anyways, like just do Fire Knight during the Fire Knight tournament. Just do Dragon during the Dragon tournament. Just focus on each one, get as much rewards as you can, and then try to get the fragments so that later on down the road, when that Plarium does offer the fragments through other avenues, you're able to get those. Let me also share an image with you that was on Reddit I found earlier. This was shared by the user Hopeful Object, which is pretty interesting. I mean, if you need a calendar for what days the events are going on and everything, this does look better than Plarium's news announcement. This is more organized, and you can just kind of lay it out. Hey, I need to do this in this event. Obviously, if you do the math on this, you're not going to be able to get 100 fragments without at least getting a few fragments from the Summon Rush and the Champion Chase. So keep that in mind. If you summon all your shards here, don't summon anything until you have shards, until the Champion Chase event starts. Keep that in mind. You definitely want to give yourself the best chance possible, especially if you're not going to be able to get the top rewards there. Now, if you look in here, the Summon Rush event, you get a few fragments fairly early on. Looks like you can get 15 pretty early on, so that is nice that they give it to you relatively early. I mean, if you have 2 Sacred Shards, that gives you the rewards you need, basically. So that's pretty cool. I do like that, and I believe that gives you enough to get the 100. Let's see what the math looks like. So say you got all these except for these 2. How many shards would you have? So if you went ahead and did everything except for the Summon Rush and the Champion Chase, you'd have about 80 fragments, and that's earning the top rewards from everything. So you're still missing out on 20 fragments. You can get a fairly easy 15 from here, and then hopefully you can get another 15 from the Champion Chase when it comes up. So in reality, it shouldn't be too impossible to get, especially if you had a few Sacred Shards to open. However, I didn't. Am I going to try for her? I would like to, but it's just going to see over the next few days what I get from my Nightmare chest. Maybe I get something good, maybe I don't, who knows. But overall, I don't think she's a game-breaking champion. She is a bit paywalled, a bit more paywalled than what I was hoping for, but it's not, honestly, it's not blown out of proportion completely. She still can be obtained. I do like the idea of Plarium mixing things up. I do hope that we move back to the old fusion system and kind of implement the fragment fusion system alongside it. I would personally rather see something like you can earn a few fragments through different methods every so often. It takes longer to get these champions, but there's something you can work up for instead of having them as a fusion. Whereas the fusions in the past, you could use the champions you already had. I like that idea much better. Like, honestly, the fusion that's coming out for the Bazaar, it's not out yet, I don't believe. But Drexstar, I do like that system they're implementing, where you can spend your gold bars to earn a legendary champion. Granted, it does take 100 days minimum because of their daily cooldown on buying the fragments, but I do like the system where you can have something to work for that's not necessarily paywalled. You just have to be consistent with it and do it each day, and you'll eventually get it. I do like the idea. I do like the idea that Plarium is moving in a little bit better direction. Hopefully, we'll see over the next few days, few weeks even, what they implement alongside of this, guys. But with that said, hopefully you enjoy this video. Hopefully it gives you a little bit better idea on if you should try for the tournament or not, depending on where you're at in the game. But thank you again for watching the video, guys. Don't forget to check me out on twitch.tv/Tyraku. I stream every day except for Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern time. Join the Discord in the comment section or the description down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Once again, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.